I've had a history of racial profiling even after coming back from combat. I was pulled over, mistaken identity. I was going to the gym and I was paying my mortgage at the same time. I also had my gym clothes on and I was riding in a car with rims. So I guess I fit the profile. I had a nice car. A do-rag was on my head. A police pulled up to the side of me. I looked over. He looked at me. I waved, hi. And before the light turned green, another car pulled over and it was the ATF, swung the door open and put a gun to me. They said, "Oh, be still. We're going to check your card." My car was clean. The dogs went through sniffing for something and pulled out my protein powder. I had protein powder in the bag to, They said, "What's all of this white stuff?" I said, "It's protein powder." They asked me to get my ID. I said, "Can I get my ID?" I got my ID and I showed it to the guy and they saw that I was a military veteran. "Oh, sorry. Wrong guy. We were looking for a guy with a car that looked like yours. You can go." I can laugh about it now, but yeah, that situation, I drove off and I just kind of felt like almost less than human. My name is Daniel Beasley. My stage name is Melody. I sing and DJ, and I'm in Ruaka, close to the Runda area. So I actually started out traveling back and forth through Tanzania. So I started out in Dar es Salaam, and I worked my way towards Moshi to climb Kilimanjaro. But unfortunately, I had a bad accident between Kilimanjaro and between Moshi and Arusha. Africa is so big. But even Tanzania, going through Tanzania, as I made my way towards Arusha, which was closer to Kenya, I had an accident, a very bad accident, to where I ended up in hospital, had to have surgery, emergency surgery. During that surgery, they told me that the better healthcare was here in Kenya, in Nairobi. They also told me that I didn't have enough time to make it, so they had to have emergency surgery right there in Tanzania. And eventually I ended up here in Kenya to have another surgery because they didn't have everything they needed for me there in Tanzania. So I came here to do multiple tests and to, prepare for the surgery here, which was last year. And while I was waiting and learning, and I loved it. Like I said, when I hit here, and it was like a breath of fresh air. It kind of reminded me of Atlanta. It's a nice city. I saw the skyscrapers and it just blew my mind. I was expecting more, I guess, of what I've seen on TV. The rent comes to about, I don't know what the translation is, from 47 to 50,000, including Kenyan shillings, including utilities, a little bit over 300 USD, which is really good for me. When I first got here, I was in and out of hotels and Airbnbs, and it was getting very costly, like, a day, to do that daily. So I was like, it's better if I rent. So I know a lot of people go over to Kilimani or Westlands or something, but I'm like, I want something that homely and in the local area. A lot of people say, oh, when you go there, this is where to go. If you're foreign, go to this side. But I like the nature here in Ruaka. If you look out there, there's a river. We'll look at that later. But I like the trees. I don't like to be surrounded by the concrete jungle. So, but I do play in the concrete jungle now. I'll go to the club. But when I rest and where I lay my head, I like to hear the sound of the river, as you can hear out there. It's very relaxing. I like the sound of water. So I have a choice. I can go out on my balcony and enjoy the nature, or I can just go out the front door and up the hill, and I'm ready to party. So that's what I All right, now I'm on my balcony. I'm here maybe 2 minutes away from Two Rivers Mall, which is one of the reasons why I chose this area. I wanted to be close to, a mall or ways I can get groceries and everything, so without catching the Bolt or the Uber. I still do it, but yeah. So I also like to exercise here, and here's that river I was talking about. As you can see, there's a lot of nature here. Some people drying clothes out there. And you wouldn't think you were so close to the city, but you know, on the opposite side coming in here, there's lots of, there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken, there's a Java House, there's a mall. When the trees are cut, I can see the Ferris wheel that's at Two Rivers. The moment that made me question, okay, first there was something that happened to me, other than the getting pulled over. I had officers come to my place. This didn't make the news or anything, but they came to my place for a noise violation. I was a DJ, so I played music really loud. I love music. So they came to tell me to turn the music down. I turned the music down, and then they asked me if I mind if they came in to search some other things, make sure I didn't have anything illegal in the house. And I asked them, I said, you came for a noise violation, the noise is down. They said, oh, would you mind? I said, yes, I'm having a get together, and I don't want you to come into my space. And they ended up barging their way in there anyway. And not to give too much information, but before all was said and done, I was tased about 5 times. And I believe my constitutional rights were violated. And at the end of the day, they were in the wrong, but I never pressed charges or anything. I let it go. But it hurt pretty bad. It only takes one taser to knock a cow down, and I had like 5 in me. Some people's heart have stopped, and yeah. Okay. So that was a traumatic point for me there. But not only that, what really got me after that is that George Floyd incident. There was Trayvon Martin, then there was George Floyd. So I'm like, this is pretty toxic. So I needed some space to recover from that. That was a really big trauma for me. I've made sacrifices and investments in the past that I benefit from, and also I create music, and I do little odds and ends. I sing, I write, I do. There's been a lot of people. Since I've recovered from my accident, a lot of opportunities have opened up to me here in the entertainment business, and it makes me want to actually explore, and it makes me want to stay here. I'm not going to lie, it's just it's very good working with people and collaborating with the local talent. In some areas, it depends on how you like to live. Some people like more luxury, like the Kilimani area. I think Karen, some things are more expensive. And in some areas, the further out you go from town, prices are a lot less. You have to budget here like you would have to budget anywhere else in the world. It all depends on how much you want to spend. But you can spend a lot of money. So I don't want anybody to get twisted and think that you're going to come here and just live for a little bit of money, because it all just depends on how you budget your money. Financially free. My idea it all depends on your idea of financially free. Everybody, to me, I want to be rich. I feel like I'm financially free when my kids and grandkids are taken care of, to where they don't have to struggle at all. There's not much I don't love. I love the culture, I love the people, I love the food, and everything's new to me. So I'm like a big kid here. Every day is new, and it's a chance to see and learn new things. So I really love it. Giving too much. I think when I first got here, spending the Kenyan shillings, sometimes I would get mixed up with the conversion from USD, and sometimes I would buy things and I would have someone later tell me, oh, they charged you, they gave you triple, they charged you triple for the price. But other than that, as I learned the currency better, I was a lot better with budgeting.
So guys, YouTube told us that 72% of you guys watching have not subscribed. Maybe you forgot. Please do subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, it's free. That's how you show your support to us, and we promise to bring you an amazing content every week, twice a week at this point. So please subscribe now and stay tuned to Web Nation Africa.
I think I've grown a lot. I didn't plan to be here, but if you want to make God laugh, tell him what your plans are, because everything happens for a reason. Sometimes even the bad things can turn out helping you grow in different ways, especially when you make it through. So I've learned a lot, not only about myself, but about the world, and the culture here. I was very welcomed here. Like, I don't know what it was. I had heard other things like, people don't like you or people look down on you because you're different. But it wasn't like that for me, and I don't think it's like that for many people. It's just a stereotype, things to keep you away, maybe. But I got here and people showed me a lot of love, and I really appreciate it. They welcomed me. A lot of people said, "Welcome home, brother." I've been, how can you say, looked at certain ways by some, but after we talked, they found out we had a lot in common. I've sacrificed a lot of family time. Like I said, the world is changing right now. And I think as a dad and also a grandfather, that sounds weird coming out of me, but I think it's good to find a place that is kind of like neutral ground, a safe haven, at least have different options. I'm not saying America is a bad place to be. I'm just saying it's good to travel and see what else is out there. It's ironic that you say that because I was hit by a bus from the back. So I never saw that. I saw myself hiking up this mountain, up Kilimanjaro, taking pictures, putting it on social media, and just doing something I've never done before in a place I've never been. And things changed, and I didn't plan to come to Kenya, but I ended up in Kenya getting health care and having a surgery. And while I've been here, I really have grown to like and love this place. And I've met a lot of friends and people I can adopt as family as well. I would say if you're closed-minded and you're in your comfort zone and you're scared to try new things, then I think you should probably just stay put or work on yourself, work on your fears first, because there are a lot of challenges when you move to a new place. It's not all peaches and cream. When you move to a new place, you have to adapt. You have to figure things out. There's a lot of things you have to learn. And in my case, as a so-called African American or black guy, a lot of us we've been traveling here just recently. People are not used to seeing us travel this far. Not used to, like many people are encouraged to go to West Africa, to go to Ghana or something like that. But I think Nairobi, Kenya is a hidden jewel. I think Tanzania is a hidden jewel. There's still more I need to see. I haven't been to South Africa yet, but I'd like to visit there. But man, I feel like a kid. Like everything's wonderful to me. It's a wonder. Right. So I wonder what this do. I wonder how. I went to my first waterfall there in Tanzania, and it blew my mind. I felt like a kid all over again. It had the wow factor for me to see something like that in nature for the first time, falling that high, the water. And as you can see, I like the sound of water and streams. So going to a waterfall was a mind blowing for me. Don't buy that house that you bought. The American dream is that you have a house on the hill, right? You have a house on the hill. I had the 5-bedroom house. I had the finished basement. I had the 2-car garage. I didn't have the white picket fence, but I was definitely on a hill looking over the top of other houses. and it was nice. It was a nice feeling. But when I got there, I still felt empty. I still felt like when you don't have knowledge of yourself, you can have a low self-esteem. All I knew at that time is you're a black guy, and then I look at the news and I look at what they've shown in history. I see what has happened to black people. And it's not not everything was good, to say the least. So I needed to know more about myself beyond being black. So I did a DNA test, and it showed me that I actually have a tribe, and that I actually have culture, something other than black. It gave me a definition of myself, even going back to ancient Egypt. So Ramses III is said to be one of my grandfathers. So that's a lot. That's a lot better than just calling myself black. My advice to them would be to study, and beyond the news and beyond the propaganda of the movies. Like when I watched the movie The Mummy, I didn't see too many people that looked like me in the higher positions, but my blood says that I was there, that we were there, or my blood was there. So I say to first of all study, do research. And there's a lot of information online now, including what you're doing here. The interviews that you don't just show up at a place. Just do some research and then actually explore. I believe you can learn. The more you travel, the more you can increase your knowledge.